So I lost my dad when I was 13, and he was a big part of my basketball career. So this is me and him on a basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
Questions?
I am too.
Why would you do that?
I'm just sharing.
What was your question?
I said, why would you do that?
Why would you?
Not like, why would you drive?
Well-
but, like,
Oh, this is an angel.
And now he's watching you play ball.
Well, that's not him.
Oh.
But yeah, the basketball is in
Oh,
him.
never mind.
You got that right.
Did he teach you how to play basketball?
Yeah. He was my coach until I think.
Did
Any,
you play
uh,
basketball?
No. He was an athletic guy, but he didn't play. He played like intramurals and stuff.
So the any interpretations or thoughts about, for example, why she drew black and white? Many of you drew color. Any ideas, thoughts? Just curious.
Sad.
Good one. Bad day.
What'd you say?
bad day.
Bad day? Well, certainly losing a parent is a bad day. Yeah.
And today. Yeah, both work.
How old were you?
13.
13, that's tough. Uh-huh. Huh. Anyone else? Any thoughts? No? Okay, thank you. You wanted to go next? We don't need to clap. Some school kids like do that, like, and it turns into this whole
Okay, well,
whole.
I have to go after that, so. Sorry. So I kind of just went with like the storm cloud version of loss, so that's like.
Storm clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the storm clouds. So yeah.
Okay. Anything more you'd like to add in terms of what do the storm clouds represent, for example, to you?
I don't really want to share that.
You don't want to say that? No? Any questions? I have another one, but I want to wait and see.
It's my house. So yeah.
So,
What about the flowers? I saw the flowers in the corner. Do those?
No, just yeah.
The
and
Still
flowers
have
seem
some time
happy
left.
to me.
Yeah.
what's
Red door on your house.
I do.
what was that? Sorry, what did you say?
I had a red door on my house.
Okay, so an observation I have that I find interesting is that it's devoid of people. There's no people.
Yeah.
So,
More just like a landscape.
okay, a stormy landscape, a house and flowers with no people. Okay. Okay. Anyone else have a comment, question, thought?
I like it.
Okay. Who'd like to go next? This side or this side?
I can go.
Great.
Okay. I did a few of the different things you said. So that's just like my favorite foods if I had to have a last meal. And then that's my dog in the bottom. It looks like a pig, but it's a dog. My dog died when I was in high school. That's me. That's my great-grandma.
Your great-grandma.
She has Alzheimer's, and so like it's not a loss of her, but like her stories, her wisdom, that type of stuff that's gone that I wish we could have more of. And then this is like our family farm, which we still have. It's just like sad because a lot of people are losing that right now, and it's just like a big part of my life that I would hate to see go away.
You hate what? Say it
I would
again?
hate to see that go away.
Okay.
'Cause a lot of people are losing
What
that.
are the words on the?
Oh, those are like our farm names. That's like my great-grandpa. Like when my grandpa was younger, that was Calmy Farms.
Calmy Farms. Okay.
Yeah.
And the
then this
one on the
is,
left.
Like, when I was growing up, we all had like matching shirts that said like Brimell Acres, and it's like named after my dad and his sister.
Uh-huh.
So that's a
What is that in between
Oh,
the
that's
two
just a
sentences?
basketball hoop. It's just
Okay,
there.
that's what I thought. Okay.
I just needed to,
That was a basketball.
I just needed to add something else to the picture.
So, and is that you and your great-grandmother like by a table with food on it or something?
Yeah, it's just like this was kind of like our gathering place a lot, or still is, but
Uh-huh. And that's food on the table on the left then?
yep. It's
Okay.
just like the serving of
Sure.
food.
Uh-huh. Anything in particular?
Nope,
I'm just curious.
nope, just
Okay.
some little blobs that I
Okay.
thought maybe be food.
Okay. Any questions, thoughts, comments?
Is there a meaning for the red line before the sky?
That's the roof. It just has a red row.
Eye right there.
Aerial view, very nice.
I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, very good.
So I made a landscape because I think the hardest part of like loss is that everything seems the same.
You said the hardest part of loss is that everything seems the same? Is that what you said? Yeah?
Good.
Turn this
Day. That's what I got. No.
This is like a bird feeder?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As someone who cries a lot.
Do you have bird feeders at your family home?
Yeah, my grandma always had bird feeders,
Okay.
and that's kind of something that I have now.
Okay. I've had pet birds on loan at different times in my life, so seeing the birds intrigues me personally. Can I ask about the sun?
Yeah, I just think that the sunshine is something that like,
They look like teardrops to me.
yeah, and it like really stays the same.
You see that? Come over and look if you want closer. Okay, very good.
I drew probably like the hardest two things I've had to go through, which was the loss of both of my grandmas within 2 months. So
Wow.
this one was I was hanging out with some of my friends and like we were on a walk and my mom called me and told me so like I had to go home right away and like my dad had already left, so like this is me parking my car and like laying down in the grass because like I didn't know how to like what to do with my emotions at the moment. And that's my mom and my brother because my dad had already left. And then this is at my grandma's house. She was on hospice, so I was laying next to her when she took her last breath, so.
Thank you.
And it's like dark because I felt like everything stopped those 2 days.
Thank you. This is might be the first time I've actually achieved. I've described. I've described.
Because I'm very shocked at us. Like,
I've talked about my workshop for years as being like art therapy, but this is the first session where it's actually like art therapy. And I don't have an MA in art therapy either, so it's just kind of all self-evolved. So.
we're gonna laugh through it. We're gonna try and
That's
laugh.
okay. Laughing and
That's part of
crying,
healing, right?
laughing and crying kind of work hand in hand. You know, they can very well do. I've been there myself, many a time.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Who'd like to go over here first?
I can go first.
Okay.
My dog passed away. Well, no, he didn't pass away. He was chewed up. So by another dog.
Oh my gosh.
Add on to the
Yeah, just to like if we're gonna like go all out. This is the picture I was going off of. So he was very happy that day. He went to the dog beach.
What kind of dog was it?
He was a Chihuahua Poodle mix, which looks like an Alaskan Husky, which is very weird because it was just a brown Chihuahua and like a white poodle. So it doesn't make sense. His name was Lobo, which translates to wolf because he looked like a wolf. But yeah, I didn't get to say bye to him, so that was very sad. The last memory I have of him, I kissed him and I told him I'll see him next time I come home from school.
What is the red there in the foreground?
Oh, it's just his harness.
Is what?
His harness from
Harness.
when we went to the
Okay.
beach.
Okay. And above, is that kind of like
No,
meant to
they're
be like
just dark
storm
clouds.
clouds?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Would you like to go next?
Yeah, so I lost my grandpa in high school.
and he got, I'm just gonna pause it. He got sick, and he was sick for, he was sick for a long time. Okay.
Take your time. Take your time.
So, and it was kind of just like, okay, so I drew like a pier watching a boat go away because I felt like we were just kind of like watching him go. Thanks. And I wish at this point that I would have like used that time when I could have still seen him, to like talk with him, and I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
you-
that's it.
Well, you've done a very good evocation of what you described, the boat. And that would be him on the pier, and
Yeah, so-
kind of the lines to me evoke like kind of floating, like floating away.
Sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about. You've all done wonderfully. Thank you.
Sorry. This is a picture of. Sorry.
Yeah, I can hold it if you like.
Thank you.
Romeo, I can hold it.
Okay.
It's
Very
flimsy.
good picture holder.
Just driving. It was the last time I saw my grandparents' house, and I was driving back from the funeral, and there's just a lawn chair, and my grandparents' favorite beer was Old Style, so they left Old Style and a pack of cigarettes. He passed away from cancer, so then I didn't put it in the picture, but they put they had a man playing bagpipes, and that's just like the last memory I have of that whole house and everything in it. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then it was raining on that day, which was fitting.
Bagpipes. Was your grandpa like Scottish or
Very,
Irish?
very Irish.
Okay, great.
Yes,
Mhm.
very, very Irish.
Mm-hmm.
And he is actually also a veteran, so they did the whole flag thing. If you've ever, it was just very emotional.
They do the guns, the 21 guns. Oh,
Yes,
Well,
it was a lot.
that usually about makes me collapse.
Yes.
Like that's a.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I can hold your picture, or you could.
I mean, yeah, I can probably hold it, you know?
Thanks.
All right. So that's a picture of me looking at my mom. I don't know how old I was, but that's around when her mom died. So my grandma, I didn't know her that well because she lived in Iran, and we don't like get to go there a lot because it's super expensive to go. And my mom has depression, so she went through like a really big depressive episode during that time. Like didn't talk to us for like a year, so she gardened a lot during that time.
Uh-huh.
Didn't really.
All right. Comments? Anyone?
Oh, come
Okay.
on, bro.
Thank you.
I didn't do mine. I feel like I should do mine
Yeah.
since you all just.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna hold it?
Sorry, I'm a bad picture holder.
This.
We can't all see it.
Oh, sorry. See, bad.
This is my grandparents' house. They lived in a red house with a red barn, and there were sheep in the back and an apple tree, and rocks upon rocks upon rocks that we always had to. It was a farm, and for some reason, my job was always to clean the rocks, and I'm not kidding. I had to take all the rocks, and I had to like wash them and like clean the area with the rocks because my grandma loved rocks. She loved rocks and the color green and the color red.
But most of my childhood, we always went to my grandparents, and we did so much of my grandparents. And then when they passed away, that was a really big part of my life, and they were a super big part of my life. And when they passed away, my uncle bought the house, and he kind of has destroyed it, and so to me, it's not just a loss of my grandparents, but it's a loss of that whole childhood, all the time that we spent there. And so as I kind of drew it, then I just kind of, like, I was kind of smiling at the happy memories and of all the different things, and then I just kind of did the gray all over it, because it's all gone, and it's all lost. So.
I have thank you. I have a background question.
Yes.
This is on a farm?
Yes, so they
and
had sheep, and then they had cornfields and hay fields.
And why were the rocks being cleaned?
Because my gram was a particular kind of woman, and she had plastic down under the rocks. She loved rocks.
These are rocks that you'd
And so
walk on like a
we
pathway?
moved all the rocks off. No, they
No.
were not a pathway. They were decoration.
Oh,
And so
okay.
that we moved all the rocks off, and then I'd have to clean the plastic and like sweep in there and everything, and then wash all of the rocks
Wow.
and put them all back. So when
Interesting.
when my uncle started destroying this whole place, I went and got tons and tons of rocks, as much as my husband would let me, and took all the rocks. And so her rocks are at my house and in my house.
That's
and-
great.
What? I do not ever clean them. No. No, I do not. And I was always mad when I was cleaning the rocks, because that was such a stupid job. But those are, I try and tell my kids now that some of the memories that you're hating, or the time, like, oh my gosh, we have to go to grandma's, like those will be like the foundation of who you are.
Wow, well stated. This is the most powerful workshop I've ever led.
I do not understand what has happened. Although I will say, we'll talk another, I know you've talked in another class, and we talk about building community, and the community you build in your classroom allows powerful things to happen. And you guys have spent so much time together, and usually goofy and laughing and everything, but because of that powerful community you have with each other, a simple exercise like draw this and start to talk allowed for powerful things to happen in here. And that will happen in your classrooms as well, because that's the kind of people you are, and the kind of community you'll create.
Wow,
All right.
thank you.
So usually people don't cry the whole time when they do this?
It's never happened with, I've done with, workshops with children, with adults, with teenagers, college students. It's never happened before. So,
I did wonder before we started today, I'm like, how is this going to be drawing for healing? I have no idea what we're going to do to be drawing for healing. And I'm like, okay.
I think it worked.
I think it
Makes me think, makes me wonder also how, if I were to do the exercise now, thinking of each of you that mentioned loss of grandparents, for example. I lost my mom last year. She was 100. And even though she was like ancient, it's always really hard losing a mother, I think, or any parent, and grandparents, uncles, aunts, whoever. So, wow. Thank you. Any other feedback or thoughts, ideas? Anything you'd like to see done differently? Don't be shy.
Maybe letting us know we were going to share out loud, because then people would have maybe drawn something different that didn't make them so vulnerable. I feel like a lot of people didn't necessarily want to share or be asked about certain situations.
Okay, that's a good point. I have had children who declined to say anything. We just went on, we looked at the drawing, and then we'd go on to the next one. So, but that's a good point for me to think about for future workshops. Sure. Thanks. Anyone else? Any other feedback? Critical, positive, negative, what have you? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You guys gave it your all today.